Welcome to our Wednesday meditation gathering. I'm so glad we're all here together to share this time. Meditation gathers strength when we meditate together. This week we have Terry Doyle who will lead us in a 20-minute meditation. After that, we open it up for sharing. We end at 10:45. Over to you, Terry.
Thank you, Dan. Good morning, everybody. It's an absolute pleasure to be here with you again. Lovely to see you all. Um, we all know there's a lot going on in the world at the moment. It's never good news when you turn the TV on, is it? Seemingly. Um, so I thought today's lesson is very appropriate. It's from the workbook, Lesson 50. I am sustained by the love of God. So let me share the lesson with you, and then let's surrender into that love, and we'll enter the sacred silence together. And we will be loved and nourished in that silence. So, lesson 50. I am sustained by the love of God. Here is the answer to every problem that confronts you today and tomorrow and throughout time. In this world, you believe you are sustained by everything but God. Your faith is placed in the most trivial and insane symbols: pills, money, protective clothing, influence, prestige, being liked, knowing the right people, and an endless list of forms of nothingness which you endow with magical power. All these things are your replacements for the love of God. All these things are cherished to ensure a body identification. They are songs of praise to the ego. Do not put your faith in the worthless. It will not sustain you. Only the love of God will protect you in all circumstances. It will lift you out of every trial and raise you high above all the perceived dangers of this world into a climate of perfect peace and safety. It will transport you into a state of mind in which nothing can threaten, nothing can disturb, and nothing can intrude upon the eternal calm of the Son of God. Put not your faith in illusions. They will fail you. Put all your faith in the love of God within you, eternal, changeless, and forever unfailing. This is the answer to whatever confronts you today. Through the love of God in you, you can resolve all seeming difficulties without effort and ensure confidence. Tell yourself this often today. It is your declaration of release from the belief in idols. It is your acknowledgement of the truth about yourself. For 10 minutes twice a day, morning and evening, let this idea sink deep into your consciousness. Repeat it. Think about it. Let related thoughts come to help you recognize its truth and allow peace to flow over you like a blanket of protection and surety. Let no idle and foolish thoughts enter to disturb the holy mind of the Son of God. Such is the kingdom of heaven. Such is the resting place where your Father has placed you forever. So let's take those words into the sacred silence now. And when our minds wander, which they will, keep coming back. Legs will walk, minds will wander, keep coming back. We keep coming back to what is, here and now, and give our full attention to the words, I am sustained by the love of God.
Open your eyes and come back into the room. We have 20 minutes left for sharing your reflections and your questions. If you'd like to speak, raise your hand and I'll invite you to take yourself off mute. Who would like to share? Linda.
It's lovely to see you again, Terry. Haven't seen you for a long time. That's one of my favourite. I've got a few favourite ones, and that's one of my favourites. And I can just relax into it and know it's true. I just love it. So that's all I've really got to say. It's lovely to see you again, and it's one of my favourites, and I can just be in there. So thank you.
Thanks, Linda. It's lovely to see you. It's wonderful also to hear you. You sound like you're in a recording studio. There was an echo that came across. But again, we are sustained by the love of God. We are nourished. We are nurtured. We are blessed. We are fed. We are empowered. We are enabled. We are anointed by the love of God. And yet we give our power away, don't we? In the mistaken belief that it's going to be this, that, or the other. And yet that love, it's already there within us. And it's just surrendering into that silence to make that direct contact with it. And I think every time we go into the silence, like tie-dye, it leaves a stain, and we become loosened by our false sense of self to become ever more Christed. And we come to know that we are nourished evermore and sustained. Wonderful. You're right, Linda. It's a wonderful lesson, isn't it?
Terry, what lesson was that? What number?
Lesson 50.
50. Aha, it's a beautiful lesson.
Yeah.
Yeah, really spoke to me. Who would
Yeah.
like to share? Christine, take yourself off mute.
Tell me if I echo. Am I echoing?
No. You're perfect.
Okay. I felt that when we go, not just when we meditate, but as we go through our day, we get drawn into things, like there's so many attractions that kind of muddle us up and take us off our path, if you like. And this teaching is like a buffer. It just sends you straight back in again. And then if we do feel that we need anything in life, if we want to cover our house in EMF protection or something, we'll have the discernment to do that. We won't be coming from a place of fear or, doing something in a panic. It helps to stabilize, I think, and to make us really balanced. And then, of course, there's the beauty of the love in the message that is a thread through it as well. So, and that's what's really missing in this world. Everything seems to be going so fast at the moment that this seems to pull you back and give you a different pace, and you can feel the love in the message as well. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Christina. And you're right, yeah. Love is the answer, isn't it? And this unconditional love, and that love is already inside of us. Has anyone come across the teaching from Thomas Merton, the Christian mystic and monk from the 20th century, when he had that beautiful moment at an intersection, like a traffic light in America somewhere, where he just saw the light in everybody. He just saw that people's true nature. He had that vision, that realization. And he describes it. If you just Google, Thomas Merton intersection, um, and read. And he was saying stuff like, if only people could see who they really are, there would be no wars. It would end war just like that. So when we read stuff like that, when we get reminders like from our lessons, it helps us to unhook from the apparent madness of the world, where people are coming from fear and ego and trying to dominate and protect and take from others, and all of the madness that we see playing out. You only have to put the news on, and it's there, isn't it? And yet all the time that love is within all of us, always. It's always there, always there. So being reminded like we are this morning is wonderful. Thanks, Christine. And next time you can sing us a song. You've got your guitar hanging up on the wall behind you.
Yeah, I need to practice a bit more.
Okay. Did you hear that, Teresa and Dan? She didn't say no.
Yeah. Okay, who'd like to share? Linda?
Yeah, it's just a simple thing. A long time before the Course in Miracles. Can you hear me?
Not very well, Linda. You're on echo. You've got two connections. We see your name below you as well as your picture.
Right, I think I'm going to have to take this computer into my laptop, people. Yeah, I don't know what's happening. So, yeah, Thomas Merton was a long time, I read it long time before Course in Miracles, and I loved it then. Thank you for the reminder.
Okay, who'd like to share? Bridget, was that a hand going up? Take yourself off mute if you want to speak.
Was that name Thomas Merton? Merton?
Yes.
Right, I've got that written down. Yes, the statement you made about God, except I can't remember what it was now. God sustains you in all. I mean, it's like thinking of the life, the whole life force. You're not thinking of the world or depending on the world or money or a good job or some person to rescue you or anything. If you're thinking of just the life force, which would be God, you're just thinking of what is the most powerful thing, aren't you? So it's you're not placing your trust or anything in anything lesser than the ultimate power.
That's right, Bridget. And we go into every situation with that love intact. And I think when we meditate like we've just done, we recenter, don't we? We reconnect. It's always there, but we forget.
Yeah.
We're often lost. We get lost in the world with all the distractions and stuff. So we reconnect and we strengthen that connection, and we become more centered, resourceful, resilient, and we take that love and that sustenance into even the difficult situations in our lives. And I think the more we do this kind of practice, you can stand next to somebody at a bus stop, and a person next to you will benefit, even if you don't say a word, just because of your centeredness, your presence, that sense of presence, connectedness, togetherness. And we are nourished and nurtured so I always think that It's a paradox, isn't it? We go into the silence, and yet that's the most dynamic thing there is. We go into the stillness, it's the most dynamic movement there is. It's total paradox. We empty and we just come as we are. We don't have to petition. We don't have to, oh, please, I'm sorry for, whatever. We don't have to do any of that. We just have to come and present ourselves. Like the Course tells us, one of its methods of meditation, it reminds us, just present ourselves. Here I am, Lord. Here I am. We present ourselves. And the love that's always there waiting for us, it just envelops us, cocoons us. It's very much like, the parable from the Gospels, isn't it, of the prodigal son, where he gets lost in the world, and wine, women, and song to the point where he reaches his personal rock bottom. And it said he's eating the husks that the pigs are, with a pig swill and all of that. And he suddenly remembers, what the hell am I doing this for? Wasn't I in a beautiful place before? Wasn't I loved? And he makes that conscious decision out of his own free will to turn and return to the love of the Father, so to speak. And that Father doesn't condemn him and judge him and say, you've done this, there's none of that. It just comes running to him and envelops him. It's a beautiful parable. And then there's the elder brother, that represents our ego, that feels it self-righteous and indignant. Well, I've been here, I've been a good boy. He's gone off and done all of that. You've never killed the fatted calf for me. It's a beautiful parable.
And
Go on, Fred.
he probably thought, when he's away and doing all of those, chasing after those things he chased after, he realised they didn't offer him anything. In fact, they took everything good away from him. And he just saw the light that what he wanted wasn't there at all, and what he did value was at home after all. The things we chase after don't offer us anything, do they?
Yeah, that's right, Bridget. And yet, we can still enjoy them when we're not attached to them, when we're not seeking and believing that they're going to bring all the fulfillment that we're looking for. Again, paradoxically, once we discover the truth within ourselves, it's okay to enjoy a holiday or a nice house or whatever it might be. It's okay to have these things. We don't have to live in caves in the Himalayas. And yet, there's a very subtle difference because our mindset's shifted towards them. We can take them or leave them. If we have them, great. If we don't have them, great.
And use them all for good things.
Absolutely, Bridget. Yeah. We can use them for the greater good. You're right. Because the more we have, the more we have to give at the end of the day.
Okay, who'd like to share? Dennis.
Thank you, Terry. I am sustained by the love of God. All I can say is thank God for that.
Therein lies the lesson of the day, as always, from our Dennis. Nice one, Dennis. Because you're right, it says it all, doesn't it? I like the way it also in the lesson, it tells us when we go into the silence and we give our thoughts and our full attention to the phrase, to the affirmation, I am sustained by the love of God, that we allow to come to mind any associated thoughts as well. So along with that word sustained, what else might that mean? Nourished, nurtured, empowered, whatever comes to our mind, all of these things by the love of God. We can't go wrong, can we? We cannot go wrong. And the best way is to go into the silence to access this place and this gift. So why wouldn't we give our time? Like it says here, for 10 minutes twice today. That's nothing, is it? That is nothing in the grand scheme of things, to give our time, because once we discover these truths, by God, it's much better than winning the lottery, isn't it? If you think about it. And a peaceful mind makes for a very comfortable pillow. So we can search after all of the trappings of the world. Well, in the East, it's known as Maya, that fool's gold. Or we can go inside and discover the love of God that's already there within us. It's already there. And when we make that connection, inevitably, we're going to live out from that place. So everybody around us benefits. Everybody benefits by our willingness to make that discovery.
Okay, who'd like to share? Bridget, do you want to share? Take yourself off mute.
Each time we bring ourselves back to that thought of, I can't remember the phrase now.
Sustained by the love of God.
Pardon?
I am sustained.
Oh yes, sustained. Yes. Each time we come back to that thought of being sustained, it's reinforced, tenfold, isn't it?
Yeah. Absolutely.
And then presumably or eventually becomes automatic.
Yes. Yeah. And like it says, Bridget, it goes on to say, put all your faith in the love of God within you, eternal, changeless, and forever unfailing. This is the answer to whatever confronts you today. Through the love of God in you, you can resolve all seeming difficulties without effort and ensure confidence. Tell yourself this often today. So there's another teaching. We keep reaffirming that statement through periods of the day. You might be out for a walk, and as you're walking, you're just saying, I am sustained by the love of God. Or you might be, I don't know, in the midst of something a little bit uncomfortable. You might be laying with your mouth open in the dentist chair, or whatever it might be. I am sustained by the love of God. So these frequent reminders through the day are very important as well. Very important. Because by doing that, we let the idea sink ever deeper into our subconscious. Because, our mind is like that picture of the iceberg. We only see the iceberg above the water, what's showing. But there's much more of it underneath. If we can get that sunk deep into our subconscious mind, as well as our conscious mind, but deep into our subconscious, that's where the change happens.
And then that's what directs your life, isn't it? Your subconscious mind. So if you're coming from that part, then that's how you will operate. That will be your modus operandi, won't it? Automatically.
Yeah, you're right, Bridget, and that's why the workbook is all about changing at that level of mind. What our thought patterns are. And the initial part of the book, the workbook, it helps to kind of free us from the false sense of self, our ego's false sense of looking at the world and our past conditionings and stuff. It brings it into the light so we can see it for what it is. And then gradually, as the workbook goes on, we get these wonderfully nourishing affirmations. You know, I'm not a body, I am free, for I remain as God created me. You know, so whatever might be going on, there's an affirmation in there, there's a prayer, there's a reminder, you know, that we are spirit ultimately and free eternally. And again, the more that that sinks into our subconscious, the more able we are to live out from that place, the freer we become.
And we'll build new neural pathways. So that is how we'll operate.
Yeah, the neuroscientists are coming to validate all of the stuff that the mystics have always known, and there's a good conversations going on now between, you know, the medical and scientific communities and the so-called spiritual communities. You know, they're coming at the same truth from different places, if you like, but
They're
ultimately,
all connected.
yeah, absolutely, everything's interconnected. It's all wheels within wheels.
Okay, we've come to the end of our time together. Thank you, Terry. That was a wonderful way to start the day. And thank you all for being here and sharing this time together.
Thank you.
And lots of light.